He was born in Asia. He has lived in more than 4 different continents, lectured in several countries, and studied in various educational systems. He is spearheading an innovative model of undergraduate education. Since August 2006, he has chartered an ambitious and distinctive course to advance Northeastern. He has expanded Northeastern's signature core program by making it global and by adding flexibility to ensure that all the students benefit from experiential education. He has also sharpened the university's research agenda by focusing on the global imperatives of health, security, and sustainability. He has been an innovative force in creating a global university around the world, adapting to global change. With him, his team, the faculty, and us, the students, we have made the top 25 best business school in the US. As he says, the world is too rich to be ignored. We're glad to introduce you to President Aoun.
You know, the fact that I lived in the 3 continents, I traveled a lot in my life all over the world, gave me an appreciation of, you know, the diversity of the world and therefore of what I can learn. I studied and lectured in France. I didn't study in Brazil, but I lectured in Brazil extensively. I lectured in Spain extensively, all over the world. Every time you come to a place, you understand what the place has to offer, and also it leads you to appreciate some things that you take for granted. I did with my colleagues, you know, is essentially because the world now is becoming much more interconnected, and and you're an example of that, and the students were interested in getting a global dimension, then, you know, we opened up the experiential model to a global dimension. And that's why you saw that this has been very well received. At the beginning, when we started with this globalization aspect, people were wondering what's happening. But when you approach globalization, you approach it at all levels. So first, you know, you want international students and domestic students to be together. Because by the time, you know, you leave to go to another country, you already have home and be comfortable with the differences. So you're all international students, but being international students doesn't mean that you know the whole world. You know Brazil, you know Spain, you know Europe, you know Latin America, you know France, you know, but the world is large. And therefore here you meet with students coming from all over the world. So this was the first aspect, is to globalize the place and getting the real diversity of people together. The second aspect is that whenever you have diversity, you have differences, and those are not challenges, those are opportunities. Every time there is a change, you have 3 groups of people. People who are embracing the change, people who will oppose the change, and people who are indifferent. Usually the people who are indifferent or neutral are the largest. People who are opposing the change would be the most vocal. And whenever you do a change, you know, it's not about you. It's not you are changing. are going a step further, saying if by the age of 26 in our company, a talented employee doesn't have a global experience, she will not be moved forward. The world is no longer restricted in terms of looking at talent on a national bound, based on national boundaries. It's all, we don't make people successful, we give them the opportunities to become successful. Because if I